Hi everyone, I'm Tanaaz from foreverconscious.com and this is your weekly energy forecast for the week of September 3rd. So on September 3rd, 4th, that will depend on your time zone, Venus stations direct. Venus has been retrograde since July 22nd, but even before that date, it was sort of slowing down in its retrograde territory, if you will. And so really since the start of July, even going back to the end of June, we have been working through this incredible karmic cycle related to our hearts, related to our feelings of self-worth, and connected to our relationships. So if something big happened for you, especially around the mid part of July in a relationship, something came up around your self-worth, or maybe even a money issue, you are likely to find that now with Venus stationing direct that things have a little more ease. If you imagine this as a karmic cycle that rose up, you're now at the descending point, the end point of whatever lessons, karmic gifts, whatever has needed to come up. You're now on the sort of home stretch of that energy. Venus, while it stations direct on September 3rd, 4th, it also will take a little bit of time to get back to its former strength, if you will. So that won't happen until October 8th. Until October 8th, Venus will still be in its post-retrograde shadow, which is what it's called. So really from kind of the end of June, say midpoint of June, up until October, we really have been working with this incredible karmic cycle, this karmic cycle around our hearts, around our relationships, around our feelings of self-worth. So if something did come up for you around that time frame, don't worry, you're at the end of this journey. Whatever needs to be will be. And hopefully, as Venus stations direct, you're getting a little bit more heart opening. In fact, on September 3rd, 4th, it's a fantastic day to concentrate your energy onto your heart chakra, heart healing, heart opening, opening the heart, using practices like compassion and loving kindness to activate the heart center, forgiveness, that's another way we activate our heart center, and really giving us that ourselves those qualities as well, giving ourselves that forgiveness, that compassion, that loving kindness. They're all simple ways to activate that heart center energy and heal the heart on an energetic level. Very, very powerful day to do that. It's also really, really great with Venus stationing direct. We're going to see a little bit of lightness to the retrograde energy by the time we get to the end of this month. So if you're sensitive to retrogrades, if you're really feeling that kind of bogged down feeling, you'll feel some relief with this Venus retrograde. And then in a couple of weeks when Mercury also stations direct, I'm sorry, I said retrograde, with this Venus direct, and in a couple of weeks with Mercury direct, you'll get a little more ease coming in. However, speaking of retrogrades, on September 4th, Jupiter stations retrograde. So Venus exit retrograde, Jupiter goes in. However, Jupiter goes into retrograde every year. So this is a very natural, normal cycle. Venus only retrogrades every 2.5-ish years. So that one is very, very significant. Jupiter going into retrograde, we're used to it. It happens every year. Jupiter spends a good chunk of the year in retrograde, so it's not an energy that you're really going to feel too abrasively. Jupiter retrograde is a time to think about the stuff that we've been ignoring, that shadow stuff that can kind of come up, that stuff that we haven't been paying attention to, that we need to pay attention to, that can rise up to the surface with a Jupiter retrograde. Jupiter retrograde can also touch on our relationship with abundance. So that is our relationship not just with money, but how we think, how we move through the world. Do we feel deserving? Do we feel worthy? Or do we constantly have thoughts that are, oh, no, I'm not good enough for that, or oh, I wouldn't fit in there, or no, I don't deserve that. Even if it's on a subconscious level, that's what Jupiter retrograde can bring up and out into our awareness. So it's a fantastic time to build that self-confidence, to build that self-worth, and to kind of kick to the curb thoughts of scarcity. Anywhere that you're thinking with scarcity or lack, Jupiter retrograde can bring that to your attention and help you to make a transformation. Jupiter will remain in retrograde until December 30th, so till the end of the year. And that is the big, bold energy for your week ahead. We're still also coming down from that Pisces supermoon, blue moon that we had on August 30th. That was a big full moon for clearing. So you might still be feeling the effects of that clearing. If you've had some space created by that full moon and are, in a new spot, have landed on a new place in your life, don't be in a rush to fill that space. Just take your time with it. Settle into the ground zero that is now in front of you, and work and sit in that stillness. Work to kind of be at peace with where you are. And then slowly, when the right inspiration arises, you can move forward. There is a lot of energy that's really, really guiding us to kind of sit and be in a state of acceptance, rather than trying to push or rush or force ahead. So keep that in mind with whatever's going on. So it is a big week because of that Venus stationing direct. If you want a refresher, if you want to dive a little deeper into that Venus energy and really go back and look over and maybe do some journal exercises and work with this energy, I have an article. I'll drop it in the link. I'll drop it in the description box below the link. You'll find it there. And it goes into more detail about this retrograde, and there's some journal prompts in there too. All right, I hope you found this helpful. You all have a wonderful week. I'll see you next time.